Good morning. Welcome to United States Sports Academy and our weekly sports talk program. Today we're going to do our baseball previews show, even though we're about a week into the baseball season. Every team's played at least 5 games. Some teams have played as many as 9. But it's a good time to make our annual baseball prediction show. With me today is Sarah Weber, one of our teaching assistants and our college baseball expert. And to my right is Brett Simmermacher, Dr. Brett Simmermacher, our chair of sports coaching and a former Division I baseball star and a professional baseball player. So one of the things we want to talk about before we get started with the major league stuff is we have 2 college teams here. Actually, both of them that Brett pitched for. University of South Alabama and University of West Florida that are both off to great starts this season. So you want to talk a little bit about them, Sarah?
Sure. South Alabama's currently ranked 21. They won last night. They beat Southeast Louisiana 2-1. Randy Bell threw a complete game.
Awesome. They had lost to Southeast a couple weeks ago at their place.
Now they're 25-8, and they're 15-0 in the Sun Belt Conference, and there isn't anybody that close to them in the standings in the Sun Belt. So it should be interesting.
Like 9-3, I think.
Yeah, it should be an interesting rest of the season.
Yeah, 15-0 is pretty impressive no matter what conference you're in.
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz about them.
They actually got kind of lucky this year. Brett and I talked about it a couple weeks ago with weather, because 2 of their 3-game series that were supposed to be on the road had to get moved to South Alabama because the weather in Arkansas and
Little Rock.
In Texas.
Texas, Arlington, and Arkansas, Little Rock. The weather there was so bad, the forecast was so bad over the weekend that they moved both those 3-game series to Mobile. And so they ended up with 6 extra home games this year, which is a pretty good deal.
Which were sweeps.
Which I'm sure they were still the visitors in the game, but
They were.
it was on your home field.
Yeah.
You didn't have to travel, sleep in the same bed that you slept in all year, all those things.
And the other local school is doing real well is University of West Florida.
Right, Division II. They've put it together in recent weeks. They're sitting at 26-12, 18-6 in the Gulf Coast Conference, South Conference.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. And there's a lot of competition in the Gulf South. We have West Alabama, West Georgia,
Delta State, which they play this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They're both in first place, 18-6, right?
Yeah, and West Florida is ranked 16 in the Collegiate Baseball Writers poll, and then in the D2 poll, they're ranked 25. But the new polls, I think, come out today. So
the regions come out here?
Yeah, they come out today, so they'll probably be moving up.
We may get to see some postseason baseball in both.
That would be nice.
In both directions. And for those of you who don't know, University of West Florida, as Sarah mentioned, they're Division II. This coming fall, for the first time ever, they're going to have a football team. And they don't have a stadium yet, so they're playing their home games the first year in the Pensacola Bayfront Stadium, which is where the AA team for the Cincinnati Reds, the Pensacola Blue Wahoos, play their home game. And last year during the baseball season, when you went to the game, when you got the program as you walk, they give you a free program as you walk in the gate. And in the back, they had a map of what it's going to look like set up for football. So for those of you who have seen baseball in Pensacola, they're going to have extra bleachers in center field, and the field's basically going to run from the right field foul pole to the left field foul pole, kind of right down the middle. And it's going to seat around 20,000 for football. So and the kid that played for Fairhope High School graduated with my son in 2015. He was the Alabama 7A Offensive Player of the Year. His name's Greg Jackson. He was a quarterback. He's going to be the first quarterback at West Florida. So it'll be interesting to see how they do in football for the first time.
So their spring game is Saturday.
This coming Saturday?
Yeah.
Awesome. Is it at the Pensacola place?
I think so.
Okay. Maybe I'll have to go check that out. Anyway, today we're gonna make our predictions. We're gonna make our predictions for the baseball season that is now underway. Most teams have played around 7 games. And we're not going to predict any winners from the playoffs. We're just going to predict who we think are going to be in the playoffs. And we're also going to predict who we think will be the most valuable player, Cy Young Award winner, Rookie of the Year, and Manager of the Year from each league. And I can tell you right now that all my predictions will be absolutely 100% correct. So if they disagree with me, they're automatically wrong. Now, just kidding. These are there's a reason why they're predictions. And I have been known to dabble a little bit in the gambling industry, but I wouldn't. If I was you, I wouldn't put any money on any of my predictions. Anyway, let's go ahead and start with the American League, and let's go with the teams first. Who do you think will be the 3 division winners in the American League, Sarah?
Well, in the East, I can't decide between the Yankees or Baltimore.
Okay.
Yankees.
Brett and I talked about this earlier this morning. We both picked the Yankees, but I picked the Orioles as a wild card. So I'm with you. I think both of those teams are
I've got them as a wild card as well.
yeah,
Okay.
they're 7-0 right now.
Right.
So they're on pace to win 163 games.
Buck Showalter.
Or 162 games, right? Yeah, good manager. Joe Girardi's a good manager also. So we all like the Yankees and the Orioles in the East. What about the Central?
I have KC repeating.
Same.
Me too. I think I think I don't like the Royals. I rooted hard against them last year, and I think you won't see anybody on this panel pick a Ned Yost as manager of the year because I think they win in spite of him instead of because of him. But I think if you look at, I don't think anybody else in that division improved greatly. Some people are looking at Cleveland,
Yeah.
but I just don't see it.
Mistake by the lake. They always figure a way to dwindle it away, whatever you want to call it, toward the end or in the playoffs.
Maybe Johnny Manziel can pitch for him.
No, let's not even go there.
Okay, what about the American League West?
I have the Angels.
That's who I picked. The
I
Angels.
think they're going to put it together.
I think Socha's got them on the right path.
Recoup from past past bad play. I mean, I just think they're going to.
Well, they've got a great manager. They've got the superstar in Mike Trout.
Right.
I think with the Angels, it's all, and then plus they got Pujols hitting behind Trout.
Right.
I think with the Angels, it's all about starting pitching.
Yes.
You know, they when their starting pitching does well, they do well.
Pitching and defense.
Okay, so Yankees in the East or Orioles, Royals in the Central. By the way, I picked the Rangers to win the American League West. I think.
They're leading right now.
Huh?
They're leading right now.
Yeah, but there's just a little bit of baseball left to play. But I think the Rangers made some great offseason moves. They picked up Cole Hamels for the stretch run last year, so they'll have him for the whole season this year. Plus, a lot of it depends on how well Yu Darvish comes back, because having him come back this year is almost like picking up a free agent because he missed all of last season. And
They're my other wild card.
Are they? You
The
picked them as
Rangers.
a wild card? Who's your 2 wild cards?
Orioles and the Rangers.
Orioles and Rangers. I have Orioles and Astros.
Ooh. I'd have to go with the Orioles and the Rangers.
Okay. So some combination of, we pretty much got the same teams except for you guys both like the Angels, and I don't really like the Angels that much. When I sat down to look at this, sometimes it's still hard for me to think of the Astros as an American League team because they were a National League team forever, and there was a cover last year before baseball season started. There was a Sports Illustrated cover that it had the Houston Astros on it and said, "Meet the 2017 World Champions," because their farm system had done so well. We talked about it in one of my graduate classes 2 years ago. Not last year. Last year the Astros had a great year. The year before that, they had the worst record in baseball, and they had the biggest profit in baseball. And the question I asked my doctoral students was their general manager successful? And the answer is it depends on what his marching orders were, what the mission statement was, what their strategy was. If their strategy was to make money, he was extremely successful. If their strategy was to win ball games, he was an absolute failure.
Yes.
So you can't always look at just wins and losses. You got to see what did ownership tell him was the number one priority. But everybody all along has talked about the youth of the Astros, and they started to come through last year. Okay, National League. Division winners, how about National League East?
I have the Mets repeating.
The Nationals.
I have the Nationals as well, but I do have the Mets as a wild card. I think that those 4 big right-handers that they got taking the hill is going to make them tough to beat. Okay, Central Division.
I kind of wavered. I have the Cubs or the Cardinals.
I have the Cubbies.
I have the Cubs. I think, I think if this, everybody's picking the Cubs to win it all. The only reason the Cubs won't win it all, because this is an even year, that means the Giants are gonna win it all. But I also picked the Cubs, and I picked the Giants in the West. Who do you guys pick in the West?
I got the Dodgers.
I have the Giants or the Dodgers.
Giants or the Dodgers. Yeah, you know, it's one of those strange things where the Giants won the World Championship in 2010, 2012, and 2014. And then didn't do much in the odd years, but we'll see what happens. They really upgraded their pitching with Jeff Samardzija and who's the other guy? Was it Johnny Cueto? No, it was
No.
yeah, it was Johnny Cueto.
Was it Cueto?
Yeah, it was Johnny Cueto and Jeff Samardzija. Plus they got the big guy at the top of the rotation, Madison Bumgarner.
Right. Oh,
If
I'm thinking of the Dodgers.
if what's his name comes back, Matt Cain, who missed most of last year, if he comes back strong, they could be tough to beat. I picked Pirates and Mets as my wild cards.
I go with the Dodgers.
And
Cardinals.
Dodgers and Cardinals,
I've got the Reds and the Giants.
Reds and the Giants. Wow, so we've all got two teams from the Central Division making the playoffs, but just a little bit different team. You got the Cardinals, I got the Pirates, he's got the Reds.
Cardinals always find a way
Yeah, they
to
do.
make the
They do.
playoffs.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm leaving them out this year.
One of the things, the Pirates have made the playoffs each of the last 3 years, but they've had to play that one game wild card.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, they had to play against Madison Bumgarner, which was the first game of probably the greatest postseason any pitcher's ever had, including Sandy Koufax. And you guys know, coming from me, that's saying a lot. But, you know, Bumgarner had the greatest postseason ever. And so one game, and then last year, the Pirates had the one game against Jake Arrieta, who at that time was pitching better than anybody in baseball. So, you know, this year, if my prediction is true, the Pirates will be playing the Mets, so you could be, you know, Matt Harvey or DeGrom or the Norwegian guy, whatever the heck his name is.
Yeah.
I kind of want the Dodgers
The
to do well
Yeah, I'd like to see.
because of Dave Roberts,
Yeah,
UCLA guy.
Well, you know,
He's
the-
now a manager.
it'll be interesting to see how he handles that.
Played for.
They lost Greinke. Yeah, they lost Greinke, but he got shelled his first 2 starts.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works out. Of course, they still got Kershaw. Okay, so there we have our predictions for the division winners and the wild cards, and we'll get together before the playoffs start and make our predictions all the way through the world champions. But if you don't pick the Giants in an even year, you're probably gonna be wrong. So we'll see how that works out. Okay, American League. Sarah, who do you got for most valuable player?
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout.
Great minds think alike. Mike Trout.
Mike Trout. I got Carlos Correa, the shortstop for the Astros. I think last year he came on and won Rookie of the Year, and I think if you're a shortstop and play good shortstop, which he does, and hit 40 home runs, that automatically kind of puts you in the top 3 of the MVP. And they'll say, you know, you can't go wrong with Trout either. He's a horse. You know, one of the things they always talk about how big Mike Trout is. I remember 2 years ago in the All-Star game, or it might have been last year in the All-Star game. No, it was 2 years ago. Derek Jeter and Mike Trout were the first 2 batters. And they were standing side by side, and Jeter is just as big as Trout. And we never think of Jeter as being a big guy. They were interviewing Cal Ripken Jr. on Mike and Mike on the radio one day last week when I was driving, and they were talking about how he kind of revolutionized the position. Because before Cal Ripken, shortstops were 5'10", 160 pounds, hit 280 with 4 home runs.
Mhm.
And he even said his first year in the minor leagues, they moved to third base because, quote, he was too big to play shortstop. And then, you know, once Ripken broke through, then you had Alex Rodriguez, Nomar Garciaparra, Miguel Tejada with the A's, and that whole era of big shortstops. And Jeter, of course, we just talked about. So I like Carlos Correa. I think he could do wonderful things for the Astros this year. Okay, how about Cy Young in the American League?
David Price.
David Price.
Carlos Carrasco from the Indians.
I picked Cole Hamels for the Rangers, so we all picked somebody different. That's good. That gives us something to talk about.
David's gonna make a comeback and have a good year.
I picked last year after the season was over, before the voting, I picked Price to win it last year, but he didn't. They went with the Keuchel guy from from the Astros. But
Oh, that's right, Dallas.
yeah, but I think Cole Hamels. I think you have as a pitcher, you have an advantage when you change leagues because a lot of the hitters haven't seen you before. He pitched a few games for the Rangers last year, but this will be his first complete year in the American League. So I'm gonna go with Cole Hamels and the Rangers. How about Rookie of the Year?
For the American League, I don't have one.
You don't have one?
Tyler White.
Tyler White's a good pick. I went with Byron Buxton, the center fielder for the Twins, who was the number 2 overall pick about 3 years ago. But the real reason I went for him because last year he started out in Double-A, so I got to see him play about 5 times. The dude is fast. I'll tell you that much. He is lightning fast. He had in Double-A last year. He only had 20 stolen bases, but that was in 22 attempts. So he went up to Triple-A, and then he spent a little bit of time with the Twins last year, but it wasn't enough time to disqualify him for Rookie of the Year this year. So I'm gonna go with Byron Buxton for the Twins. That's the Rookie of the Year. How about Manager of the Year?
In the American League?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be Ned Yost again.
I think it's going to be Girardi.
I picked Girardi too. If my prediction of the Yankees winning the division comes true, I think Girardi's a shoo-in for Manager of the Year.
Okay.
But that could be a bad omen though, because last time he won Manager of the Year with the Marlins, he got fired. So hopefully that won't repeat itself. National League Most Valuable Player, Brett.
Bryce Harper.
Repeat, huh?
Repeat.
Can't go wrong with that pick.
That's what I have.
Yeah, Bryce Harper. I had Giancarlo Stanton because I think he's the best power hitter in the National League, and he has the best hitter that any of us ever saw as his hitting coach this year. So see how much Barry Bonds can help Giancarlo Stanton. He certainly can't help him hit individual home runs any further,
No.
but he may be able to help him hit more home runs.
Right.
He hits some bombs.
He does.
He hit one in spring training like over everything, and they showed a guy walking along. It's like, how did a baseball get here? And picked it up. Okay, National League Cy Young, Sarah.
Matt Harvey, New York Mets.
That's a good pick.
Max Scherzer from the Nats.
And I went with Jake Arrieta from the Cubs. I think he's one of those rare dudes that every time you turn on the TV to watch a game, there's a chance he could pitch a no-hitter. Rookie of the Year, American League or National League.
The guy in Colorado, Story.
Trevor Story.
Yeah.
Trevor Story. He's on pace to hit 162 home runs, one a game. He's got 7 in 7 games. You know, I looked him up, and his minor league career high is 20. Now that's a little mixed because you know he may have hit 10 in Single A and 20 in Double A in the same season, but the most he ever hit with one team is 20. But he's never hit in Colorado for half of his games, and you know that the ball does go farther in that thin air in Colorado.
A footnote with that, I kind of secretly hope that Dansby Swanson moves up to the bigs this summer and plays for the Braves and does well.
Yeah, we were kind of disappointed that we're really close to the Mobile Bay Bears. In fact, their home opener is tomorrow night, and we've already got tickets for the game. But the Bay Bears are the Double-A team for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and we all thought Dansby would be here this year in Double-A since he was a rookie last year, but he got traded to the Braves. So we still get to see him play maybe a couple times. He's starting out in A advance this year. So if he starts in A advance, he'll probably get moved up to Double-A if he does well. So we may get to see him play a little bit, but we won't get to see him play 70 games like we would have if he was playing for Mobile. All the pundits are picking the shortstop for the Dodgers, Corey Seager, to be Rookie of the Year. That's what every single thing I looked at picked him. So at least we didn't all jump on that bandwagon. We all made our own choices, even though we all picked the same person. Manager of the Year, National League.
Madden.
Joe Madden.
Terry Collins.
She would be a Mets fan, would she? And I'm going with Dusty Baker. Brett and I talked about this earlier. Dusty Baker just seems to do really well everywhere he goes in the first year. And he's inherited a really good ball club with the Nationals, with your Most Valuable Player and your Cy Young Award winner. And, you know, he could.
He might do well.
Yeah, and they're, 6-1 at the start. So that's a pretty good thing. Well, baseball season's in full swing. We hope everybody enjoys the season. We've got the Mobile Bay Bears 30 miles to our west, and the Pensacola Blue Wahoos 30 miles to our east. So we're lucky here. We get to follow two minor league ball clubs and see some people that maybe 4 years from today we'll be talking about as potential rookies of the year and most valuable players. And as Sarah just said, we got college baseball on both sides of us, really, really good college baseball.
Is it too early to tell who's coming May 4th?
No, it's not. That's a good point. On May 4th, we're going to have Coach Steve Cottrell, the retired baseball coach from the University of South Alabama, who is having his number retired on the 7th of May. So 3 days before, he's only the third person ever to have his uniform number retired by the University of South Alabama. The first one was the legendary coach Eddie Stanky, and the second one was Luis Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Luis Gonzalez, who you remember got the game-winning hit against the Yankees when the Arizona Diamondbacks won their only world championship. So we're really excited about having Coach Cottrell here on the 4th of May to talk about his honor of having his number retired. So we hope everybody has a good week in sports. Enjoy the baseball. There's not much going on this week other than baseball. Tonight, maybe the Golden State Warriors win their 73rd game. And then we'll get ready for the NBA playoffs. So we hope everybody has a great week in sports, and join us next week at 11:30 a.m. Central Time for our next edition of Sports Talk. Have a great week.